Did you know your breakfast choices could be secretly sabotaging the muscles and blood vessels that keep you strong where it matters most? If you're over 60 and noticing weaker erections, low energy, or numbness below the belt, age might not be the culprit. Your morning meal could be to blame. Most men don't realize their breakfast either supports healthy blood flow to the groin or gradually restricts it. Even more surprising, many are missing out on the one simple food that could help turn things around. I'm Dr. Marcus, a men's health specialist with over 30 years of experience in urology and age-related performance decline. I've treated thousands of men across the country who thought their intimacy was fading simply because they were getting older. What we discovered was much more hopeful. Here's the truth. Your body wants to restore circulation to your lower body, but only if you give it the right tools. And those tools are not found in a pill or a prescription. They're found in five very specific, very simple morning foods. Foods you already recognize, but probably never knew how to use to target male circulation. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to use them. You'll learn how 5 easy ingredients can boost blood flow down there, strengthen pelvic muscle tissue, and increase confidence without side effects. And stay with me until the end because I'll reveal one odd combination that's helping men feel results in less than a week. Let's get started. Before we dive in, if you're serious about reclaiming your vitality and improving circulation where it matters most, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss another tip designed specifically for men over 60. And if this video speaks to you, type 1 in the comments. If it doesn't, type 0. I read every response, and your feedback helps me create better content tailored to your needs. Let me start by sharing something that happened just last week in my practice. A 68-year-old retired engineer named Robert walked into my office looking defeated. He'd tried everything: supplements, prescriptions, even those expensive devices you see advertised online. Nothing was working. But when I asked him about his morning routine, he said something that made everything click. "Doc, I haven't eaten breakfast in probably 15 years. I just grab coffee and go." That's when I knew exactly what was wrong. Robert wasn't suffering from old age. He was suffering from starvation. His body had been running on empty for over a decade, and his circulation had simply shut down to preserve what little energy he had left. Within 6 weeks of following what I'm about to share with you, Robert called me with excitement in his voice I hadn't heard in years. "Dr. Marcus," he said, "I feel like someone turned the power back on." You see, what most men don't understand is that your body performs its most critical repair work during the first few hours after waking. Your testosterone is at its peak. Your growth hormone is circulating. Your blood vessels are primed and ready to deliver nutrients wherever they're needed most. But if you're not eating the right foods at this crucial time, you're essentially telling your body to shut down the very systems that keep you feeling strong and vital. All right, let's begin with the first food, one that's probably already in your fridge, but you may have been overlooking its full potential for years. It's simple, it's familiar, and when eaten at the right time, it can jumpstart blood flow and muscle repair in the area that matters most. I'm talking about whole eggs, nature's most complete source of nourishment for restoring circulation down there after 60. One whole eggs, nature's circulation starter. I've lost count of how many men over 60 have sat across from me, frustrated, embarrassed, and confused about why things down there just aren't the same anymore. And almost every time when I ask about their diet, they shrug and say something like, "Doctor, I just grabbed some coffee in the morning, maybe a slice of toast if I remember." What they don't realize is that their body, especially at this age, is starving for very specific nutrients the moment they wake up. And one of the most powerful sources of those nutrients is something they've had in their fridge their whole life: whole eggs. I know eggs have gotten a bad rap in the past. Cholesterol concerns, old science, outdated fears. But let me be clear, if you're a man over 60 and you're not eating whole eggs regularly, you're missing out on one of the most effective natural tools for restoring blood flow and strength in the lower body. The secret is in the yolk. That golden center is rich in vitamin D, B12, choline, and leucine, a powerful amino acid that triggers muscle repair, including the deep, often ignored muscles in the pelvic floor. These are the same muscles that support erections, control urinary flow, and keep you stable and balanced as you move through your day. But here's what makes eggs truly special for men over 60. The combination of nutrients in whole eggs doesn't just feed your muscles, it feeds your nervous system. The choline in egg yolks is converted to acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter that's essential for nerve signals that control blood flow to your sexual organs. Without adequate choline, these signals become weak and inconsistent. With it, they become strong and reliable again. The vitamin D in egg yolks is another game changer. Most men over 60 are deficient in vitamin D without even knowing it. And vitamin D deficiency is directly linked to erectile dysfunction, low testosterone, and reduced blood flow. When you eat whole eggs in the morning, you're giving your body a natural vitamin D boost right when your testosterone production is at its peak. I had a patient named Marcus, 71 years old, who came to me after his doctor told him his circulation problems were just part of getting older. Marcus had been living on coffee and pastries for breakfast for years. His wife had been begging him to eat better, but he thought it was too late to make a difference. I convinced him to try something simple: 2 whole eggs every morning, soft-boiled with a pinch of sea salt. 3 weeks later, Marcus called me, barely able to contain his excitement. "Doctor?" "Marcus," he said, "I haven't felt this good in the morning in over a decade, and my wife, well, she's very happy too." That's the power of giving your body what it truly needs when it needs it most. When blood circulation decreases with age, these muscles are among the first to suffer. But when you fuel them properly, especially first thing in the morning, your body responds. You feel more stable. You notice fewer cramps or numbness. And yes, you start to feel more confident in moments of intimacy. Not because of a pill, but because your blood is flowing again. I remember one patient, Richard, 67 years old. He told me he hadn't had morning wood in over 2 years. Within 4 weeks of changing his breakfast to include 2 whole eggs every morning, boiled, nothing fancy, he called me with a voice full of disbelief. "Doc," he said, "I woke up like I was 40 again." That's the power of feeding your body what it truly needs at the right time. But eggs are just the beginning. There's another food, one that most men have in their pantry right now, that when combined with one tiny seed becomes a powerful artery cleanser that can help restore blood flow throughout your entire body. Let me show you what it is. 2 steel-cut oats with chia seeds, the artery cleanser. Every time I see an older man in my office complaining about poor circulation, weak erections, or that constant heaviness in the lower body, I don't just ask about his medications. I ask about his breakfast, and more often than not, it's either non-existent or loaded with sugar and empty carbs. What I recommend instead might seem too simple to matter, but believe me, a warm bowl of steel-cut oats topped with chia seeds has transformed more lives than you'd think. But not just any oats. We're talking about steel-cut oats, the kind that take 20 minutes to cook and have a texture that's almost chewy. These aren't the instant packets that dissolve into mush. These are the real deal. Oats on their own are a powerful ally for aging arteries. They're packed with a special fiber called beta-glucan, which doesn't just help lower cholesterol, it actually helps clean out the walls of your blood vessels, removing the plaque and debris that can block blood flow to critical areas. This allows more oxygen-rich blood to reach your pelvis and groin. For men over 60, that kind of circulation support isn't just helpful, it's essential. But here's where it gets really interesting. Steel-cut oats contain something called avenocosides, natural compounds that help your blood vessels relax and dilate. This is the same mechanism that allows prescription medications to work, but you're getting it from food instead of pharmaceuticals. Now add chia seeds to the mix, and something incredible happens. These tiny seeds are loaded with omega-3 fatty acids, magnesium, and potassium, nutrients that help your blood vessels relax, reduce inflammation, and allow for smoother, more powerful blood flow. But chia seeds also contain something most men have never heard of called quercetin, a natural compound that helps protect your blood vessels from damage and keeps them flexible as you age. The magnesium in chia seeds is particularly important for men over 60. Magnesium deficiency is incredibly common in older men, and it directly affects blood vessel function. When you're magnesium deficient, your blood vessels become stiff and narrow, making it harder for blood to flow where it needs to go. When you get adequate magnesium from chia seeds, your vessels relax and open up naturally. This combination isn't just good for your heart. It directly impacts your ability to get and maintain a healthy erection. The fiber helps regulate blood sugar, preventing the spikes and crashes that can damage blood vessels over time. The omega-3s reduce inflammation that can block blood flow, and the minerals help your nervous system send strong, clear signals to dilate blood vessels when arousal occurs. I remember one gentleman, Henry, who told me he felt his body had started shutting down after retirement. Low energy, trouble walking upstairs, intimacy fading. I got him to swap his sugary cereal for steel-cut oats with chia seeds, blueberries, and a touch of cinnamon. Within 2 weeks, his legs felt lighter. Within a month, he was sleeping better and waking up more energized with benefits he noticed both in and out of the bedroom. "Doc," he said with a laugh, "I didn't think a bowl of oats could do that." But here's the truth. What you eat in the morning sets the tone for your blood flow all day long. And this simple combination, eaten warm and mindfully, tells your arteries it's safe to open up. It's time to nourish the muscles and nerves that keep you feeling like a man. The key is preparation. Don't buy instant oats. Buy steel-cut oats and cook them slowly with plenty of water. Add the chia seeds during the last few minutes of cooking so they absorb the liquid and become gel-like. This creates a breakfast that releases energy slowly and steadily, keeping your blood sugar stable and your circulation strong all day long. Now, if you're ready to take your circulation support to the next level, there's one fruit that acts almost like natural Viagra. But without the side effects, most men overlook it. But when eaten at the right time, it works fast. Let me show you what it is. 3. Fresh red beets, the nitric oxide powerhouse. Most men think of beets as something their grandmother used to serve from a can, but fresh red beets, when eaten raw or lightly steamed, are one of nature's most powerful tools for boosting blood flow exactly where you need it most. Beets contain natural nitrates that your body converts into nitric oxide, the same compound that allows your blood vessels to relax and dilate. This is the exact same biological pathway that prescription ED medications target, but beets do it naturally, safely, and without side effects. But here's what makes beets especially powerful for men over 60. As we age, our bodies produce less nitric oxide naturally. This is why blood vessels become stiffer, blood pressure rises, and circulation decreases. By eating beets regularly, you're giving your body the raw materials it needs to produce nitric oxide again, essentially turning back the clock on your vascular system. I had a patient named Frank, 72 years old, who was skeptical when I told him to start drinking fresh beet juice every morning. "Doc," he said, "that sounds like hippie nonsense." But Frank was desperate. His circulation was so poor that his feet were always cold, and intimacy with his wife had become a distant memory. I convinced him to try fresh beet juice for just 2 weeks, not the processed stuff from the store, but fresh beets juiced at home or at a local juice bar. Within 10 days, Frank called me amazed. "Dr. Marcus," he said, "my feet are warm for the first time in years. And last night, well, let's just say my wife was very surprised." The beauty of beets is that they work fast. Unlike some nutrients that can take weeks or months to show results, the nitrates in beets can improve circulation within hours. Many of my patients report feeling more energy and better blood flow the same day they start eating beets. For maximum benefit, eat beets on an empty stomach or first thing in the morning. You can juice them, grate them raw into a salad, or steam them lightly. The key is not to overcook them, as heat can destroy some of the beneficial nitrates. And here's a tip most people don't know. Don't throw away the beet greens. The leafy tops of beets contain even more nitrates than the roots. You can steam them like spinach or add them to a morning smoothie. Your circulation will thank you. 4. Watermelon, the bedroom fruit. I still remember the look on my patient Bill's face when I told him to start eating watermelon in the morning. He laughed and said, "Doc, I thought that was just a summertime snack." But what he didn't know, and what most men don't, is that watermelon is one of nature's most underrated tools for restoring blood flow, especially in the places where it counts the most. Watermelon is packed with an amino acid called L-citrulline. When it enters your body, it converts into L-arginine, which then boosts nitric oxide, the very same compound that opens up your blood vessels and allows more blood to flow to your groin. It's the same biological pathway used by popular ED medications, but this time you're fueling it with food instead of pharmaceuticals, and it works fast. But here's what makes watermelon particularly effective for men over 60. L-citrulline is actually more bioavailable than L-arginine supplements. This means your body can use it more efficiently to produce nitric oxide. And because watermelon is mostly water, it helps with hydration, which is crucial for healthy blood flow. The highest concentration of L-citrulline is actually in the white rind of the watermelon, not the red flesh. This is the part most people throw away, but it's the most powerful part for circulation. You can eat it raw, blend it into smoothies, or even pickle it. It might not taste as sweet as the red part, but your blood vessels will love it. I've had patients tell me they started noticing improved sensitivity and stronger morning erections within just a week of adding watermelon to their routine. There's something powerful about letting your body do what it was designed to do. No synthetic pills, no side effects, just pure circulation support straight from your breakfast plate. Bill called me 2 weeks later and said, I don't know if it's the watermelon or the fact that I'm finally eating breakfast, but something's definitely waking up down there. We both laughed. But the truth is, he wasn't imagining it. The L-citrulline was doing its job, opening blood vessels and giving his lower body a new sense of vitality. For best results, watermelons should be eaten on an empty stomach or shortly before your main breakfast. A couple of slices are all you need. And here's a tip. Don't throw away the white rind. That part contains the highest concentration of L-citrulline. You can blend it into a smoothie or just chew through it gently. It may not be sweet, but your circulation will thank you. If you've been looking for a natural way to feel more alive and energized below the belt, watermelon may be one of the easiest, most refreshing tools you've been missing. But if you really want to stabilize your morning energy, restore balance, and prep your entire lower body for the day ahead, then you won't want to skip the next food. It's warm, earthy, and when combined with one simple mineral, it becomes one of the most powerful circulation-supporting breakfasts I recommend. Let's keep going. 5. Steamed sweet potato with Celtic salt, the circulation stabilizer. Of all the recommendations I've given over the years, this is the one that gets the most surprise reactions. Sweet potatoes, they ask for circulation. But once you understand how your body works in the first few minutes after waking up, it starts to make perfect sense. Your muscles, including the ones in your legs, pelvis, and yes, even your penis, are running on empty after hours without food. Your blood vessels need minerals, your muscles need glycogen, and your nervous system needs balance. A simple half of a warm steamed sweet potato sprinkled with just a pinch of Celtic sea salt can be the morning stabilizer your entire lower body has been missing. Sweet potatoes are packed with complex carbohydrates that don't spike your blood sugar, but instead give your muscles the clean energy they need to function smoothly. But sweet potatoes also contain something most men don't know about called anthocyanins, powerful antioxidants that help protect blood vessels from damage and keep them flexible. The potassium in sweet potatoes is particularly important for men over 60. Potassium helps regulate blood pressure by counteracting the effects of sodium, and it helps your blood vessels relax and dilate naturally. Many men over 60 are potassium deficient without realizing it, and this deficiency can contribute to high blood pressure and poor circulation. And when you add Celtic sea salt, an unrefined salt rich in over 80 essential minerals, you're giving your body the tools it needs to hold on to hydration, regulate nerve impulses, and maintain healthy blood pressure without the crash. These minerals help with muscle contractions, circulation, and even nerve sensitivity, which can fade with age if we're not careful. Celtic sea salt is different from regular table salt. It contains minerals like magnesium, calcium, and trace elements that are essential for proper nerve and muscle function. When you eat it with sweet potato, you're creating a perfect balance of minerals that support healthy blood pressure and circulation. I had a patient named Thomas, 70 years old, who told me he'd been waking up with heavy, numb legs and a dull ache in his groin. He had tried stretching, massage, even prescription medications. Nothing seemed to work. I suggested a small change before his regular breakfast. Try half a steamed sweet potato with a glass of warm water and a touch of mineral salt. It sounded too simple to him, but 3 days later, he called and said, Doc, I don't know what's happening, but my legs feel lighter and I'm not reaching for the nightstand just to stand up. Within 2 weeks, Thomas reported that the dull ache in his groin had disappeared, and he was waking up with more energy than he'd had in years. There's something grounding about starting your day with real food, something your body recognizes, something that doesn't just treat symptoms, but actually restores balance from the inside out. Sweet potatoes may seem humble, but when eaten this way, they work quietly and powerfully to restore circulation, balance minerals, and energize every step you take. The key is timing and preparation. Steam the sweet potato until it's soft but not mushy. Eat it warm, not hot, with just a pinch of Celtic sea salt. This combination provides sustained energy, stable blood sugar, and the minerals your circulation system needs to function optimally. Now there's one more food I want to share with you. This one might surprise you because it's not something most people think of as a breakfast food. But for men over 60 who want to maximize their circulation and energy, this dark, rich food can be a game changer. 6. Dark chocolate with at least 70% cacao, the mood and flow enhancer. I know what you're thinking. Chocolate for breakfast? But hear me out. Dark chocolate with high cacao content isn't candy, it's medicine. And when eaten in small amounts first thing in the morning, it can have profound effects on both your circulation and your mood. Dark chocolate contains compounds called flavonoids, particularly epicatechin, which help improve blood flow by increasing nitric oxide production. These same compounds help protect your blood vessels from damage and keep them flexible as you age. But dark chocolate also contains something else that's particularly beneficial for men over 60, phenylethylamine, a compound that can boost mood and energy naturally. The key is quality and quantity. We're not talking about milk chocolate or sugar-laden candy bars. We're talking about high-quality dark chocolate with at least 70% cacao content. And we're talking about small amounts, just 1 or 2 squares, not an entire bar. I had a patient named David, 65 years old, who was struggling with low energy and mood issues that were affecting his relationship with his wife. Along with other dietary changes, I suggested he try 1 square of high-quality dark chocolate with his morning coffee. David was skeptical but willing to try anything. Within a week, David's wife called me. "Doctor, Marcus," she said, "I don't know what you told my husband, but he's like a different person. He's happier, more energetic, and more interested in me than he's been in years." That's the power of giving your body natural compounds that support both circulation and mood. The caffeine in dark chocolate is much gentler than coffee, providing a sustained energy boost without the jitters or crash. And the combination of improved circulation and enhanced mood can have powerful effects on your confidence and vitality throughout the day. Now that you've learned about 6 powerful morning foods that can help you restore blood flow, strength, and energy down there, there's one last thing we need to cover because knowledge without action changes nothing. So let's talk about exactly what you need to do starting today to turn these foods into real results you can feel. 7. What you need to do starting today. If you've made it this far, that already tells me something important. You care. You're not just coasting through this phase of life, letting your body do whatever it wants. You're still in the fight. And the good news is now you've got tools, but tools mean nothing if they stay in the drawer. The real change begins the moment you decide to take action today, not tomorrow. Start small. Tomorrow morning, commit to eating one of the 6 foods we talked about. Maybe it's 2 eggs with the yolks. Maybe it's a warm bowl of steel-cut oats with chia seeds and cinnamon. Maybe it's a few slices of fresh watermelon or a square of dark chocolate with your coffee. It doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to happen. But here's what I want you to understand. This isn't about following a rigid diet or completely overhauling your life overnight. This is about making one small change that tells your body you're ready to support it instead of neglecting it. Your body has been waiting for this signal, and when you give it, the response can be remarkable. I recommend starting with whichever food appeals to you most. If you love eggs, start there. If you've always enjoyed oats, begin with that. The key is consistency, not perfection. Eat one of these foods every morning for a week and pay attention to how you feel. Notice your energy levels. Notice your mood. Notice any changes in circulation or sensitivity. Because what you eat in the first hour after waking is one of the most powerful choices you can make for your circulation, your confidence, and your independence. Don't skip breakfast anymore. Don't wait until you're hungry or tired or already behind for the day. Give your body what it needs while it's asking for help. This is when your blood vessels are most responsive. This is when your muscles are ready to receive nutrients. This is when you interrupt the cycle of decline and start building back what time has tried to take. You might not notice dramatic changes overnight, but stay consistent. Within a few days, you may feel more energy in your legs, more warmth in your groin, more strength in your step, and more responsiveness where it matters most. You might sleep better. You might wake up feeling something you haven't felt in a long time, hope. And if you're worried that this is all too late for you, I can tell you with complete honesty, it's not. I've seen men in their 60s, 70s, even late 80s transform their energy, their intimacy, and their overall vitality by simply committing to this one thing, starting the day with purpose and the right nutrition. Let me share one final story with you. I had a patient named George, 78 years old, who came to me convinced his best days were behind him. His circulation was poor, his energy was low, and he told me he felt like he was just waiting to die. George's family had given up hope, and honestly, so had George. But George was willing to try one small change. He started eating 2 eggs and a slice of watermelon every morning. Nothing else changed initially. Same medications, same routine, same everything. But within 3 weeks, George's daughter called me in tears. "Dr. Marcus," she said, "I have my father back. He's laughing again, he's active again, and he's talking about plans for the future." That's the power of giving your body what it needs. That's the power of believing that change is still possible, even when everything seems hopeless. So the question is simple. Will you take that first step tomorrow morning, or will you let another day go by, waiting for something to change on its own? Now that you know exactly what to eat and when, there's just one more thing I want to leave you with. Because even the right foods can't work if you're making one critical mistake most older men never even think about. Let's wrap this up with a final message that could make or break your results. 8. Final message. If there's one thing I've learned after decades of working with men over 60, it's that aging doesn't take your strength. It only takes what you're willing to give up. And most of the time, what we give up isn't our bodies. It's our belief that change is still possible. But I'm here to remind you, it absolutely is. You now know about 6 powerful morning foods: whole eggs, steel-cut oats with chia seeds, fresh red beets, watermelon, sweet potatoes with Celtic salt, and dark chocolate that can help restore blood flow, improve sensitivity, support muscle function, and bring life back into parts of your body that may have felt distant for far too long. These are not trends or gimmicks. They're real foods that speak directly to your biology. What's more, you understand exactly when and how to eat these foods for maximum impact. You recognize that how you spend your first waking hour sets the tone for everything else. Your vitality, your self-reliance, your self-assurance, and even your relationships. But here's the critical mistake I mentioned. Most men try to do everything at once. They want to eat all 6 foods every morning from day one. They want to see instant results, and when they don't, they give up. Don't make this mistake. Choose one food, eat it consistently for a week, pay attention to how you feel. Then if you want, add another food. Build slowly and sustainably. Your body will respond better to gradual changes than to sudden overhauls. Remember, you're not trying to become 25 again. You're trying to become the best version of who you are right now. You're trying to reclaim energy, circulation, and confidence that may have been dormant, not dead. You don't have to overhaul everything overnight. Just begin. Start tomorrow. Reclaim your mornings. Let your meals work for you. Turn every bite into a powerful statement that you're still writing your story. This isn't the end. Far from it. Your next act begins at breakfast, and it begins with your choice to take control. If this message has resonated with you, if you're ready to take that first step, I want to hear from you. Leave a comment below telling me which food you're going to try first. Your commitment, shared publicly, makes you more likely to follow through. And your success story might inspire another man who's struggling with the same challenges you faced. Remember, your body is not broken, it's not too late, and you are not powerless. You have everything you need to begin reclaiming your vitality, starting with your very next meal.